I have a couple. I noticed and now I know. And I'm like, oh my God. Like they're going, but they're not really going. So they're not the right places.
Say that thanks to Safa and Stacy Gardner, who came to me, I don't know, last winter and said, well, they had a whole list of things. This was one of them. And so we now have, just kidding, but we now have a wellness room thanks to them. Alex was an integral part in designing it. And so the wellness room, if you will, is a place that new mothers who used to go to Anna's closet, literally, can now go to the wellness room. It has a lamp, it has a comfy chair, it has a refrigerator, it has but anyway, it is really nice. Go take a look. It's the office right off of where Machine's office was there a couple of years ago. But in all seriousness, if you want to go in there and just relax, I think that if I remember correctly, we had 3 or 4 reasons. A place where you could go and just be by yourself in silence. We have some staff members that take some time throughout the day on their break to pray. That's a good place to do that. Obviously, just be cognizant of who might be in there. You need to lock the door, and evidently the cover that's over there has some holes in it. We're working on that. The Naperville Singers are using our property on Thursday and Friday at 4 o'clock just to hand out items. I only tell you that because I think it's some Scott community folks. There's the lady that runs it is called is it Bosco? Anybody know Miss Bosco? I think she, but anyway, I just wanted you to know that they're not supposed to be here until 4, but if you're still around, they're going to be kind of lining up in our parking lot. It shouldn't be too much of a problem, but I just want you to know that's who it is. And if you don't want to make small talk with former parents, I would try to avoid that. I've made the command decision after talking with a few teachers that because we had one parent in particular, but she said that a lot of parents were talking about it, which I get that a lot. That are we going to need planners or not, because we don't want to have to buy one if we haven't already. The command decision was, if you can get away without using the planner, please do so. If you do think, well, we always use the planners, just don't make it like so critical that a family's like, oh my goodness, I have to buy one. So don't spend time teaching them how to fill it out, and because frankly, we don't have any. If we had some to sell, that would be a problem. So if you can avoid using the planners, my guess is that there'll be a function through Canvas that we wouldn't need that.
I'm sorry. He's talking about the planner.
Planners are fun. I thank you guys. I sent that link. If you can fill that out to the 2 days, there's also a tab that for your team to put the day that you're going to do that common plan time. If it works out to where we don't have them all on the same day, then whatever you put on there will be fine. We might ask you, one way or the other. What questions do you have about tomorrow, Stacy? Sort of. Yes. You is that along that line, Sarah? Yeah. If so, the question was, so 2 things. One, we have a list that you kind of get the vibe that's coming from the district that like maybe the right hand's not talking to the left hand, and so math workbooks. For those grades that have writing, I'll put this out to you again. What I'll say is there are going to be multiple pickup times. So if as a team you decide, I'm not sending this home, that's okay. The math manipulatives is a big one. Some are saying they go home, some they don't. After communicating with Alicia, where's Alicia? Oh, there she is. we're not going to send those home right away. So you just have to know, if you don't send them home, you're not going to have math manipulatives for probably a few weeks. Yeah, I think we have to build them too a little bit. And the last, so that might be something the assistants could get started on, but the last the principals were told was, the math manipulatives weren't going home. I was surprised when I saw it on the list. Okay, good, perfect. So I'm getting to that. So Sarah's question was, what about whiteboards? Hugh Boger bought, with Title I money, the school purchased math whiteboards. And I say math, one side is grid squares. This is, by the way, 3rd through 5th grade, sorry. That has grid squares on one side, and then it's plain on the other. They're in the office. If you want to take 25 or 24, whatever it is for your class, I would say send them home. If you're K1 and 2 and you want to send whiteboards home and you have them, send them home. I didn't buy them for K1 and 2 because I felt like most of them had them. Chrissy? Send 2 home. They're gonna have dual monitors, dual whiteboards. Yeah. And then the devices are going home as well. And the devices, by the end of the day tomorrow, will be in your room. Maybe first thing Friday at the late, because they have to be sorted as well. And so the plan is by Monday morning at 7:30, those need to be on tables in here, and it'll be A, B, C, D, E, F, G, H, all the way to Z. So that needs to happen by Monday at 7:30. Keep in mind, we have assistants here that can help you on Friday. But that has to happen because then the pickup starts at 9 o'clock on Monday. If you need help with that, just let us know. We'll have to work together on that. You have bags and labels in your mailbox. Any questions about any of that? Yep.
Yeah, you get the books.
Math workbooks?
Yes.
Not yet. We actually do have one that's pretty much, we can probably hit send now, but my plan was to look what we did today and see what we have to do tomorrow. Basically, Friday, aside from some articulation time, is your time. Almost all of it, right? Friday, thank you for asking that, Kristen. So basically, Friday is like an institute day, if you will. It's a remote planning day. It's a day, and I don't like using these terms, but it's kind of a day I own. You own Monday, right? And kind of a day. But I'm telling you right now, aside from that articulation time, we want you to have that time on your own. You collaborate with your team. If you're here in the building, you might be doing some bag stuffing with the assistants. But we wanted to hold that time in case something happened today that we felt like, let's add something from 9 to 10 and so on. Awesome. Good. Perfect. Good. So almost the entire time on Friday is your time. Now, there's a little bit of clarification here. There's a list of things that need to happen by the end of the day on Monday. For example, you're going to have to send your schedule and your Zoom link to families on Monday. You'll have that list tomorrow of the things that you need to accomplish. One of them is like a welcome video. Hi, my name is Mr. Boger. I like swimming. We both like soup. All of those things. So it's fairly simple to do. There's some directions on how to do it. So there is a few things you'll need to accomplish on Friday, but in my opinion, it's not a lot. You'll have most of the time to work in your rooms, so to speak. Sarah. Yes, thanks for saying that. Pickup is, I've had a couple families that have said to me, I can't make it on Monday. And I've said, call me on Friday and I'll see what I can do. I've had a couple that are coming like Monday after you guys, everybody will be long gone. But I've told them it's Monday. unless I'll work it out. So you don't need to worry about it. And that's why we're going through I hope you're not here on the weekend, but that's why we made it Monday at 7:30. If you're like me, which hopefully you're not, I'd rather just not have to deal with it until I'm here by myself on a Saturday. So that's one option you have. I hope you don't take me up on that, but that's why we did it Monday morning. And again, there are, and I hate to throw this out there, but keep in mind that if you're not a classroom teacher that's going to be stuffing bags and you are in the building, I predict that some teachers might want some help, and I'm available for that as well. I only say that because no one ever takes me up on it. Stacey. It's on one of those slides. You're going to take attendance. It's a gray. Let me just tell you, this was one where the principals went round and round. Not round and round arguing, but there's a lot of what ifs associated with this. You're going to post attendance in the morning based on what you see on Zoom. There's actually a function somebody was telling me on Zoom. But you're going to post attendance just like you normally would. If they're logged on at 8:15 in the morning, they're present. The what ifs are, what if they log off at 8:16 and you don't see them again? The final answer there is, for now, mark them present. If there's a situation where the student is not present ever during the reading block, then we've got to talk with the parent, and now you're talking about getting an incomplete or insufficient evidence. But if they're there in the morning, for now, mark them absent. If there's a pattern, then that's when, after you talk to them, I'll talk to them and say, look, I can't continue to count you absent. And then it would just be like it normally would. There would be an issue where I would call them and we'd talk about it or whatever. But you're going to post attendance in Infinite Campus just like you normally would at 8:15. The last word I got was you don't have to post it again in the afternoon. It's a great question. I'll answer the first part, and then I'll throw the rest of it over to either Effie or Diana. In short, the NESPA, the timesheet is different. And I don't know the answer to that yet, and I'm still waiting on HR. And I only say that to first grade because you have a NESPA instructional assistant and timesheet. I don't know about the timesheet yet. But special ed NESPA assistants have been notified by HR that they need to be in the building 2 days a week. And they're going to be supporting kids similarly to what they normally would. Now, obviously, they're not going to push into your classroom and use proximity or whatever. But they're allowed to pull small groups in a breakout room. And really, that's going to be a work in progress. But they have to be in the building 2 days a week for HR. Did that answer Kayla's question? That's how close you guys are.
We're figuring it out more next week, and it's
Yeah, I anticipate, and so do the other principals, that at least initially, they'll be twiddling their thumbs maybe a little bit until we can figure it out. Alex?
There is a time built into our day tomorrow where we're going to do a follow-up from our tech session. One of the things you can do during that time is schedule a time to work with the folks to go through some follow-up stuff. There's also going to be an opportunity for you to look at the other sessions maybe you don't have that were missed today. If you can after the videos, you can slide that on our staff right. That being said, if you feel like there's something that is like my person messed up, something like that, the first line of defense is to put in a help desk ticket. Those of you who have been staff already, that's on your desktop, you know how to do that. If you are new, walk you through how to do that. But that's going to send it to like the right person that can fix it if it's not good.
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. That really is that's another thing where like, yeah, put in a help ticket. Now I don't have to. I'll just go find Joanne. They're really telling us, go to the help desk ticket. Perfect. Chrissy? No, yes and no. No, unless you ask me to. So that's, I wanted you guys to communicate that. Third grade, because they're really sharp / dependent. Ask me to send out a Voice Talk 203 as well, and I did. It took me 3 minutes or less. So yeah, so just do me a favor, and I say this mostly serious, a little bit joking, is that write me a script. It just has to be 3 or 4. I have a habit of trying to wing those, and next thing you know, they're 2.5 minutes. And so if you just tell me what you want me to say, I'll send it. So thanks for asking. But as far as like notifying anybody, we had like 4 new kids today. I asked Beth to email you guys. The kids may not be in Infinite Campus, so to just double check, because obviously, you know, tomorrow morning, if they're in Infinite Campus, you could send them a reminder as well, but it's not critical. No, I think there's like 3 or 4 of us that can look it up for you. That's what I would recommend. I'm 100%. Yeah. Just, I won't go into the details about the do not register, but in short, that's gotten a little bit weird this year, and I don't know why. But the bottom line is, do not register kid. It's not like they don't belong in school. They just haven't finished the process, and so we'll treat them like students essentially, you know, until they've been told enough by the district you can't come to school anymore. So the only reason that our district is not putting them on a class in Infinite Campus is so they'll go, hey, my kid doesn't have a class. Well, we've been trying to get a hold of you. Now that we get a hold of you, you have the form. Hugh Boger commentary, I don't think that works very well. But that's the only reason that is. In fact, they still get a device, and that's coming from the district. You can't tell a kid you're not allowed in school. And if we're e-learning, by not giving them a device, you're essentially saying you're not in school. And by law, we have to let them, you know, come to school. So, Jill? Yep, I can do it, Beth can do it, Laura can do it. It takes 2 minutes. And you can do it anytime. Send me an email and say, Hugh, send this to me. It takes 2 minutes. I look them up in Infinite Campus, I cut and paste and send it to you. It's that simple. We tried to get you guys access to it yesterday, weren't able to do so. No, it only goes to people that are in Infinite Campus on your class list. So that's a great question, Sarah. Sue. I don't know the answer to that. I'll find out. I think the answer is yes, but I'll confirm that just in case I'm being difficult. Thanks for asking that, Sue. Sure. Yeah, that's not what the principals were told the other day. That question was absolutely asked, and the answer was that was for students and for groups of people, and that adults can separate themselves. That was specifically discussed. I'll confirm that, so I'm not making that, but actually I will confirm it, but that specific question was asked, and the answer from above was those signs were for when students were in the building, that aside from max occupancy, you don't have to put up those signs. And honestly, you can not that you need to ask other people. I still was going to put them up because I thought, why not? But then I thought no other principal is, and I thought maybe some staff would think that's ridiculous going from point A to point B, that you're telling me I got to go the way around. And so from above, they said those signs were for kids. Now, having said that, Sue, if anybody came to me and said, look, I think we should have these signs up, then we'd have a conversation about it, and you know, I'd weigh the pros and cons of it. But that it was very clear those signs were for when kids were in the building. Yeah. What's that? Okay, awesome. Couple more questions.
Announcements, like our day of concern for announcements.
Yeah. I don't know. I would like to do it live, frankly, just because it's easier for me, so I don't have to record it and do all those things. But I'm not sure what that's going to look like. But we will have announcements that'll start right at 8:15. I'll either send you a link and you can, hey, welcome aboard, everybody. Here's the announcements, and you can watch it, and it'll take 2 minutes or less. Or I'll try to do it live. I want to figure out what's easiest. But yes, there's going to be announcements. Because that's really the only way I can feel like I'm doing any good. Yes, I like to hear me. I was anticipating that you would share your screen. Yeah, that was my thing. So I'd like to do it live, but I don't want that to be a hassle. So I was thinking the opposite would be that I would send you a link and that you would click the whatever it is. It could even be YouTube if it's you, and then you share your screen and they would see it. Any other questions? All right, let's watch this. Is he playing with his mouth? Oh, that's beautiful. You know, old Chuck Berry playing with his teeth, or Jimi Hendrix, both actually, I think. All right. One more video, or?
One more count. There we go.
Bought a farm and moved into an Airstream. Hey! I assume that's Stephanie. What are the chances of two people doing that? I want that Airstream. That's beautiful. I can't see what time it is. 3 o'clock on the dot. All right, sorry for the early leave. All right, we'll start out here first thing in the morning for about 15 minutes after we take our group picture. 8 o'clock. If you don't have a shirt, grab a shirt. The masks. If you take your mask home, don't forget to bring it back. Just leave it here, I'd recommend.
What?
Yeah.
Yep.
Hey, real quick, did you see that, my experience having that video with certified staff for connecting